The Mercedes-AMG ONE doesn't feel like a supercar. It feels like a mistake that engineers forgot to fix, a Formula One powertrain that somehow slipped past every legal department and ended up with license plates. When you first see it, your brain immediately asks the wrong question. Not how fast is it, but how is this allowed? Because this isn't a road car inspired by racing. This is racing technology reluctantly adapted for the road. From the front, the AMG ONE looks sharp, tense, and purpose-built in a way that feels uncomfortable. The nose sits low and narrow, with a pronounced central intake feeding the front aero system. The headlights are compact and technical, more functional than expressive, like they were added only because the law demanded them. Air doesn't just flow over the AMG ONE, it's aggressively managed, sliced, and redirected through vents, channels, and aerodynamic surfaces designed first for lap times, not admiration. Nothing here exists for styling alone. Every crease has a job. Every opening serves airflow. This is design driven entirely by function, and it shows. Move to the side profile and the car becomes even more unsettling. The cabin is pushed forward, the roofline barely clears the helmet, and the proportions feel more prototype than production. The bodywork is tightly wrapped around the mechanicals, with exposed aero elements and sculpted side intakes feeding the hybrid cooling system. The massive side pods and aerodynamic fins make it clear, this car was never meant to blend in. You don't admire the AMG ONE's silhouette. You analyze it, like a machine built for data, not drama. Then you open the door, and the illusion of a road car disappears completely. The interior is unapologetically race-derived. You don't sit in the AMG ONE, you strap yourself into it. The seating position is reclined, legs raised, hips low, mimicking a Formula One cockpit. The seats are fixed carbon shells with minimal padding, because comfort was never part of the discussion. Adjustable pedals handle the fit instead. Carbon fiber dominates every surface. Exposed, raw, intentional. The steering wheel looks like it came straight from an F1 garage, rectangular, packed with rotary switches, LEDs, and drive mode selectors. It's removable, because of course it is. The digital displays are compact and functional, showing only what matters: revs, energy deployment, drive modes, and temperatures. There's no luxury here. Just focus. Even the air conditioning and infotainment feel like afterthoughts, included because the road requires them, not because the car wanted them. This cabin isn't designed to impress passengers. It's designed to not distract the driver. Walk around to the rear, and the AMG ONE reveals its most aggressive side. The exhaust exits high and central, surrounded by exposed carbon and extreme aerodynamic elements. The massive diffuser dominates the rear, paired with an active rear wing that adjusts constantly depending on speed, braking, and driving mode. The rear end looks busy, mechanical, almost chaotic, but it's all working together. This isn't aggression for attention. It's aggression for control. And then there's the powertrain, the part that makes the AMG ONE borderline unbelievable. At its heart is a 1.6-liter turbocharged V6, directly derived from Mercedes' Formula One engine. It revs to 11,000 revolutions per minute, not because it sounds good, but because that's how racing engines work. Add to that 4 electric motors, one integrated with the turbocharger to eliminate lag, one mounted to the engine, and 2 driving the front wheels. Combined output? Over 1,060 horsepower. This isn't hybrid assistance. This is a hybrid system built for performance first, emissions second, and sanity last. Power delivery is instant, relentless, and brutally precise. There's no dramatic turbo surge, no theatrical buildup. Just immediate response, like the car is reading your thoughts instead of your inputs. All that power is sent through a 7-speed automated manual transmission, chosen for efficiency and speed, not smoothness. The AMG ONE isn't here to pamper. It's here to perform. Despite all this complexity, the AMG ONE manages a 0 to 60 time of around 2.9 seconds, but like the Valkyrie, that number almost feels irrelevant. This car isn't about straight-line bragging rights. It's about what happens after. Braking zones, corner entry, mid-corner stability, and exit speed that feels unnatural for a road-legal vehicle. On track, the AMG ONE comes alive. Active aerodynamics deploy fully, the suspension stiffens, the ride height drops, and the car transforms from barely civilized to fully committed. Steering response is razor-sharp. Grip levels are absurd. And the hybrid system works constantly in the background, harvesting and deploying energy with race-level intelligence. This is not a forgiving car. It doesn't flatter mistakes. It doesn't soften feedback. Drive it properly, and it rewards you with an experience that feels less like driving and more like operating a machine at the edge of legality. And yet, somehow, it is road legal. You can drive the Mercedes-AMG ONE on public roads, past traffic lights, over speed bumps, through cities never designed for something this extreme. That contradiction between Formula One technology and everyday infrastructure is what makes the AMG ONE so fascinating. The Mercedes-AMG ONE isn't trying to be beautiful. It isn't trying to be comfortable. It isn't trying to be reasonable. It exists to prove a point. That if engineers are given enough freedom, enough budget, and just enough restraint to meet regulations, they can build something that completely blurs the line between race car and road car. And maybe the most unsettling thing about the Mercedes-AMG ONE isn't how extreme it is. It's that Mercedes actually let it happen.